Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Founders Corner. I'm your host Neil, one of the co-founders at N5 Solution, where we help IT companies like yourself with all their accounting needs. I know it's been a little while since I actually did a Founders Corner, but I thought it was, now would be a really good time to go into what's into budgeting, since this is the end of the year, and a lot of times most companies around this time are concentrating on budgeting and also finishing forecast. So today I kind of want to go over budget versus forecast. So a lot of times, one of the biggest things I always get, there's always a mix-up between budget and forecast. So here I kind of want to first go over the basics of the difference between what's a budget and forecast, and when to use budget and when to use forecast. So budget is basically just your snapshot of what you think the next year is going to look like. So this is a time where you sit down and you kind of decide, hey, I want to increase my revenue by 5%, and then I want to grow my sales team. I want to grow my production team, R&D team. So here is where you would go in and create a P&L to figure to see where you're at, and then also here also use where you would and think about with cost and with balance sheet as well. So here you is a good way to snapshot, just kind of figure out where how much money you might have by the end of the year, and if you need to even have more investors throughout the year, like if you might be running out of money in the middle of the year or things like that. So like I said, it's good to establish goals here, and then these goals are also, basically usually tied to management bonuses. So a lot of times, if you have managers or even like this is where all your sales reps would get kind of a quota that they need to meet by using the budget. So budget is very important to kind of understand because it's kind of your snapshot, and this is kind of like your goal that you're going to try to beat budget or get to budget. And then forecast is basically just an update version of the budget. Normally you do that every quarter. So I guess the main difference between forecast and budget is a lot of times if you know any conditions, so say the first quarter of the following year, you guys didn't meet what you normally budgeted. So this is where you kind of reforecast your numbers to say, hey, in Q2, some of our sales that we were supposed to get in Q1, we weren't able to, get the contract signed, but we're definitely going to get it in Q2. And so then you could kind of reevaluate it, or some tragic thing like COVID happened, where now you get to completely your budget is basically useless because no one would plan for something like that, or a hurricane or some kind of big event that really hurts your business. So this is where, or even thrive your business. So this is where you would kind of readjust your forecast, and then a lot of times you would kind of compare budget versus forecast to also see your area. And again, like this shows what you think the rest of the year is. So as you do a Q1 forecast, a Q2 forecast, Q3 forecast, you would get closer to show what you really will end up. And a lot of times with that, the investors kind of look at forecasts because if they see, hey, why aren't you meeting budget? And then you can be like, yeah, I'm not meeting budget, but my forecast, I'm forecasting that we'll meet this, or we'll cut cost here to get still the bottom net margin. And then your forecast is always evolving, so every quarter you'll be changing things up. And then one of the good things about forecast, it helps you learn from your mistakes, so you become a better planner. So then when you are planning, when you're comparing the end of the year forecast to the budget, and you say, oh, why was my revenues way off? This is where you would kind of analyze and be like, maybe we need to do more of an in-depth analysis to budget for the following year, or even the same thing with any of your costs too. So if you thought that you were going to increase your sales cost or even increase your production cost, obviously like production and sales go hand to hand, and it's kind of things like that. So you kind of want to better understand those type of pictures. So then that's basically it for just I wanted to kind of do a brief introduction of budget for forecast. And the next few weeks, we'll kind of dig into, right now we'll dig into a little bit more in depth of how to build a budget, what to look for in a budget, how to plan for a budget, things like that, just so you guys could start preparing your guys' numbers, and then having a proper budget, because one of the key in budget's good for you, But also, most of the times, if you are going to be planning to get investors to fund your business, that's the first thing they're going to ask. Hey, show me your budget. Show me your budget. Show me your 5 year budget. Things like that. So you kind of definitely need to be able to be ready for that. So you might as well just do it, even if they're not asking that, because it's good just for yourself as well. So until next time, if you have any questions, comments, just write them down below, and we'll gladly be able to assist you. Thank you.